The News Day continues here on One News Now. I'm Charles Lejano. The first day of local absentee voting is well underway. To give us the latest, we now have Greg Gregorio reporting live from Manila. Greg, good morning again. What are the updates?
Good morning again, Charles. It has been an hour since the local absentee voting has been opened, and more than 20 individuals, including me, have already voted here at the COMELEC NCR. Some media workers went early at the COMELEC NCR LAV polling center. At the entrance, each voter went through temperature check. They were also asked to present a valid ID, so to verify that they are the ones recorded in the list of approved local absentee voters. Once verified, they will be asked to fall in line before the actual voting. 8 voters are allowed to vote at a given time. Each of them will be given a manual ballot, 2 envelopes, and 2 security seals. At a voting table, each voter will have a ballot secrecy folder containing the list of candidates for national positions. Upon filling up the ballot, the voter needs to attach a thumb mark on the coupon at the bottom of the ballot. This coupon has to be detached. Then the ballot has to be inserted inside a small envelope, then sealed. And then this ballot and the coupon need to be inserted in a bigger envelope and then sealed. It will then be placed inside a yellow ballot box. Charles, since it is a manual voting, the COMELEC reminds every local absentee voters to write legibly and write the full name of the candidates that they are voting for as written on the list of the candidates, so that those who will count this manual votes on May 9 will not have a hard time reading your manual votes. Charles?
Thanks for that tip, Greg. Could you tell us how many people are expected to vote today?
Charles, there are more than 84,000 individuals approved as local absentee voters. We're not just sure how many of them will actually vote for today, since this is a 3-day, since the local absentee voting is a 3-day event until Friday. Here at the COMELEC NCR, more than 800 media workers are expected to vote, but then again, we are not sure yet how many of them will actually vote as to the start of the local absentee voting today. Charles?
Thanks for that, Greg. Once again, that was Greg Gregorio reporting live from Manila. The Philippine Consulate General in Vancouver, Canada, is denying allegations made in a Facebook post that there are pre-shaded ballots for the 2022 elections. The consulate explained that the first set of ballots was only mailed out in the late afternoon of April 11, so none of the ballots could have been received earlier. The consulate also invites anyone who believes that they received a pre-shaded ballot to visit the consulate and have the ballot verified. The youth voting population is projected to spell the outcome of the upcoming elections. But with online disinformation targeting the youth, what might this mean for the youth vote on May 9? Gretchen Ho reports.
As the May polls draw near, where does the youth stand in the upcoming elections? According to Octa's Tugon ng Masa Presidential Survey from April 2 to 6, over 75% of those between ages 18 to 24 will likely vote for Ferdinand Marcos Jr. This is the highest haul for Marcos Jr. amongst all the other age groups. Mayor Isko Moreno and Vice President Leni Robredo are way behind. Marcos Jr. remains strong in the 25 to 34 age bracket at 62%. But are youth voters, compromising majority of first-time voters, firm with their choices? An expert says changing a young Filipino voter's mind will not be an easy feat.
We have young people, students who did not undergo any deep education in history. The textbooks are very uncritical when it comes to martial. Kasi may napapatakbo ng disinformation, hindi na siya kumakalat sa mga bata. It would be much easier to convert adult Filipinos than it is to convert young Filipinos.
In the recent Pulse Asia survey, though, both youth and senior brackets had the largest movements. From 71% in February, Marcos Jr. lost 14 percentage points in the 18 to 24 age group, while Robredo gained 16 points from 14% to 30%. The same movement for those above 65, with Marcos Jr. losing 14 percentage points and the vice president gaining 19. Cornelius said that campaign rallies may have had a hand in these movements. And with more big-ticket endorsements to come, a lot can still change. On the rampant disinformation online, meanwhile, he encourages the public to do intergenerational conversations, something another professor agrees with.
Let's practice deliberative voting. So let's begin with the premise that the candidates running for office are flawed, to deliberate with people who are not like you. And when we do this, our views become clearer.
But what of those who say, just respect my opinion?
I respect your opinion so much, that's why I want to understand you. Leaving you alone is actually a sign of disrespect. Leaving you alone with your opinion means I don't care.
Enjoying our individual right to vote need not be something we go through alone. After all, our choice will determine the nation's fate for the next 6 years. Gretchen Ho, We Are One News.
For one former PCGG Commissioner, the Marcoses should be charged with violations of the Anti-Money Laundering Act. Speaking to the Chiefs, former PCGG Commissioner Attorney Ruben Carranza pointed out that anything above the court-ruled Marcos Sal-N of $304,000 is ill-gotten wealth. And the fact that the Marcoses have it in their possession can be basis for a money laundering investigation against the family.
Isa sa mga kaso na matagal ko nang sinabi na dapat gawin sana ng pamahalaan, no, ay ang pag-file ng money laundering case laban sa mga ang dapat manguna sa pagsisimula ng pag-imbestiga ang Anti-Money Laundering Council, ang Central Bank. The law already states that money earned from corruption is a predicate offense. Ibig sabihin, meron ka ng basihan para magbukas ng investigasyon tungkol sa money laundering.
The daughters of Vice President Leni Robredo are now out in full force for their mother's campaign just 12 days before Election Day. But in the midst of the campaign, middle child and Dr. Trisha Robredo has also requested the NBI to launch a probe into the spread of an alleged sex video on various internet sites. Doc Trisha asked the NBI for assistance to find the perpetrators behind the spread of these supposed lewd videos and determine possible cybercrimes committed against her. Eldest daughter Aika has earlier been a target of a fake sex video scandal. Despite this controversy, Aika continues to campaign for her mother's candidacy. On Tuesday, she attended multi-sectoral meetings in Muntinlupa City. Youngest daughter Jillian Robredo says she's also joining house-to-house campaigns and palenque runs today. Actress and fan-proclaimed President Nadine Lustre releases a video explaining her endorsement for Leni Robredo. In her presidential address themed video, Lustre poked fun at the different issues thrown against her over the years. The actress says she's no stranger to controversies and noted that she has remained strong despite being a target of fake news. Lustre then expressed her support for Robredo, who, like her, has also been criticized and hounded by fake news over the past 6 years. Lustre added that no one is more qualified to become president than Robredo, who she says brings out goodness in Filipinos. By posting this video, Lustre is also breaking her curated Instagram feed, typically filled with neutral-colored photos. The actress has also previously joined campaign rallies for the vice president.
Mga kababayan, a message from your president. Charot lang! It's time for a new president. Don't worry mga kababayan. We will make sure na qualified yung papalit sa akin. I know someone who went through worse. Bashers, intriga, fake news for the past 6 years. But she still served tirelessly, faithfully, wholeheartedly. Kaya mga kababayan, magtiwala tayo. Ako na to eh. Lahat naman tayo gusto ng tahimik na buhay, di ba? Kaya ako, tataya ako sa best person who can give us that.
Here's a quick look at some of today's headlines. The 3-day local absentee voting begins today. Marawi City and 7 more areas have been placed under COMELEC control. And President Duterte will lead the inauguration of the Cebu-Cordova Link Expressway later today. And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us later at 11 a.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We're One News.